What's going on with the state of the Minnesota Vikings franchise right now? Really interesting. The contract talks between Minnesota and Justin Jefferson. He wants to be the highest paid receiver in NFL history. Understandable, and he deserves that. But he also wants to be in the light with the direction the Vikings are going to go at quarterback. Are they going to bring back Kirk Cousins, who's coming off a Achilles injury? Are they going to draft the quarterback of the future to sit behind Kirk Cousins? Or are they just going to go in a completely different direction at quarterback? Are they going to try to trade up for Jaden Daniels or Drake May, or maybe try to pull a deal out of their ass for Caleb Williams? Who knows? But their season last year was nothing full of peaks and valleys, insanity runs at quarterback, and eventually, late in the season, it just all fell apart for Minnesota. With Kirk Cousins, when he was healthy, he was damn near looking like the front runner to win MVP at one point. And for the amount of criticism that Kirk Cousins has received throughout his career, this was some of the best stretch of football that I've ever seen him play. And arguably, you can say based on what he did last year before he got injured, he was a top 5, top 6 quarterback. There weren't too many quarterbacks that you can name off the top of your head that are playing better ball than Kirk Cousins. But then you have that injury, and then you have the fact that he's a pending free agent. He's 30-something years old, and he's not in his young 30s. He's in his older 30s. And when you have a career this late, well, when you have an injury this late into your career, it kind of gives the Minnesota Vikings room for concern, because it's like you're limited because you're not a dual threat quarterback. You can't extend plays. You got to be good inside the pocket. How good is your pocket movement going to be coming off that Achilles injury? And you really don't know what you're going to get out of Kirk Cousins next season. Now, he won't be bad enough where he just completely falls off the cliff and he's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league. But is he going to be good enough to get you into the playoffs when you have Jordan Love emerging and you got the Detroit Lions, who are going to be one of the favorites to win it all next season? You need more juice out of quarterback if you're not going to get the Kirk Cousins that was playing at the MVP level before he got hurt. Now, are you going to be able to get a Jaden Daniels or a Drake May? Because that's really who you have to get. Michael Penix and Bo Nix are cool, but those are quarterbacks that they do have some upside, but I don't think the upside is good enough to help you win championships when you're going up against Jordan Love twice a season. You need somebody who has a really high floor, and the ceiling, I trust Kirk Cousins with quarterbacks. He's an offensive-minded coach, so therefore, you can take a toolsy quarterback, somebody who may be really raw, develop him for 1 or 2 years, and he should turn out pretty well with the prowess that Kirk Cousins has on the offense side of the football. And he had Joshua Dobbs playing some good ball for a small stretch of the season after they traded for him. And then even with the backups, like there were a few games that they were hanging around in. Brian Flores is coming back for his second season as the defensive coordinator. I'm really excited to see what Minnesota does on defense, because if they give Brian Flores the right pieces to run the kind of defense that he truly wants to run, because last year that defense improved, but I don't think that he fully unleashed everything that he wanted to due to how he was limited with his personnel not being that great. You can bring in another cornerback. L'Jarius Sneed would be another good pickup for you. He would be a perfect fit in Brian Flores' defense with his aggressive skill set and the aggressive play calling that Brian Flores has. So, cornerback is a big need for the Minnesota Vikings. Safety, are you going to move on from aging Harrison Smith? Does it piss you off how much you pay for your monthly phone bill? Why are you getting frustrated when our partner Mint Mobile has plans as low as $15 a month that give you unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network? Stop getting frustrated with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports in description and pin comment down below to get access to premium wireless for only $15 a month. That's only $15 a month. Switching to Mint It's easy. It only takes 15 minutes to do. If you're pissed off with how much you pay for your monthly phone bill, switch to Mint Mobile today and go to trymintmobile.com/JT Sports in description and pin comment down below to get premium wireless for only $15 a month. Stop getting upset with how much you spend on your monthly phone bill and switch to Mint Mobile today. He wasn't bad last season, but it definitely wasn't the kind of year that we've grown to expect out of Harrison Smith. And are you just going to get rid of him before Father Time strikes? What are you going to do? You need to get younger at safety. Running back, you definitely have to go out there and improve that position because your running game was just atrocious last year. I had Alexander Madison on my fantasy squads, and he was a huge disappointment. And even when you traded for Cam Akers before he went down, like he wasn't really anything to write home about. Ty Chandler at times demonstrated some explosive ability to possibly be a fringe RB1, but I still think he's more of a backup running back. But the Minnesota Vikings, if they can improve their cornerback position, give Brian Flores some more pieces to work with on defense, they probably won't bring back Danielle Hunter, but there's a ton of depth in this year's pass rushing class. And you look at how well some of the younger guys performed under Brian Flores last year. Like, if they can nail their picks in the draft on defense, they could possibly have elite defense next season. But offensively, Justin Jefferson, we know he's going to get paid. I doubt Minnesota is going to trade him. But Kirk Cousins, it probably would be in your best interest to bring him back. Realistically, you might not be able to trade up to get Jaden Daniels or Drake May. And just getting Michael Penix or Bo Nix, I just think would be you settling. There would be good options, but I think it would be better trying to get one of the big name quarterbacks if you're going to trade up. If you're going to trade up, go all in and try to get the best you can get. Just don't settle with what's the best available. And they wanted to get Anthony Richardson last year, but they didn't want to pull the trigger on the trade. Minnesota has been flirting with potentially finding their potential successor for Kirk Cousins. You wonder if this is going to be the year they finally act on that.